Hi students, welcome to our channel Vagdevi IIT Foundation. This is Pratap Naidu, faculty in physics for IIT JEE and NEET. And now our next topic is kinematics part 5. In kinematics part 4, we dealt the concept of average speed and average velocity. Okay, this is continuation of that one. Here we are going to solve some numerical examples in this case. Okay, right, before that let us consider different cases here. I have considered both motion in a plane as well as motion in a straight line, because while explaining distance, displacement, average speed and average velocity, we have taken such type of diagrams only. Though it is motion in a plane, we have taken such type of diagrams only, so that we can understand that we can easily understand the difference between distance and displacement only by this type of diagram rather than motion in a straight line. Okay, for conceptual understanding this is the best example, but actually we should students, you should know that this one comes under motion in a plane and these examples they comes under motion in a straight line. Why motion in a plane and motion in a straight line? Motion in a plane requires additional knowledge regarding vectors. Motion in a straight line does not require the knowledge of vectors, that's all. Okay, so for each and every problem that comes in motion in a plane, it requires vectors? No. Later we will do some problems also which do not require the knowledge of vectors. Okay, just to make you clear that the problem belongs to motion in a plane or motion in a straight line, you should be clear. Okay, this is x-axis. A body starts its journey from A, moves along this path and reaches position B. Okay, so here what is the distance? The length of this path is distance. What is the displacement? The length of straight line AB is displacement. So now tell me which is greater here? Distance, see, distance smallest we have taken, and for displacement capitalist we have taken. And what are these two here lines? To indicate that we are considering only magnitude of displacement, because displacement is a vector, it is having both direction as well as magnitude. Here we are comparing magnitudes, magnitude of distance or magnitude of displacement, which is greater. So in this case it is very clear that distance is larger than displacement. So S is greater than modulus of S capital S. What about this one? Straight line motion. See here, body starts from A, reaches B, again comes back here. In this case, what is whose magnitude is greater, distance or displacement? It is very clear. What is the distance? Length of this arrow plus length of this arrow. And what about displacement? Displacement is this distance from A, because A is initial point, C is final points. This is displacement arrow. See, it is smaller. So it is very clear that distance is greater than displacement. In this case, here also, here see here, body starts its journey from A, moves, reaches B in a straight line. It is not turning back also. In this case, what? Distance and displacement, both of them are equal, because the length of this line itself is the distance, the length of the same straight line is displacement. Here the length of actual path and the displacement line, both of them are same. See, what is length of actual path? A to B, this line. What is the displacement? It is also the straight line joining A and B, no? So both of them are same in magnitudes. Okay, now here in this case, particle starts its journey from A, reaches B, again comes back to A. What is the distance here? Length of actual path. See, length of this arrow plus length of this arrow, that is the distance, magnitude of distance. Then what about displacement? By definition, see, this is initial point, because journey started here. This itself is the final point. So initial point and final points are same. So what about displacement? Magnitude is 0. So here distance is greater than displacement. See, in all these cases, distance greater. In 3 cases, distance is greater than displacement. Only in one case, see here, distance is equal to displacement. What is that case? The body should not look back, it has to move ahead. Should not look back. As Betala told to Vikramaditya, should not look back. If you look back, go straight, walk straight, should not look back. If you look back, I will leave you and I will go to the branch of the tree. Vikramaditya and Betala stories you have read, no? So this is such type of scenario. Yes, this distance is telling go in a straight route like this. If you look back like this, or if in this case like this, I will not be with you, I will not be equal to you. Got it? Yes. Now what about those things? This is average speed, small v for speed, this is average velocity. Okay, now which is greater? So what is the definition for speed? Average speed equal to what? S total by T total, total distance by total time. What is average velocity? Average velocity equal to total displacement by total time, total T total. Total time of journey is same. Here for example, from A to B, as the particle moves from A to B like this, suppose it takes t seconds. So to travel this distance, what is the time taken by the particle from A to make this journey? It takes t seconds. Then what is the time taken for this displacement? T seconds only, because in that t seconds only the displacement is happening here, because the particle is here, reaches here. What is the displacement? The displacement line, the position of the particle on displacement line will be here, and the particle reaches here. What is displacement position? Here. When the particle reaches here, displacement is here. When the particle reaches here, displacement here. When the particle reaches here. So in this way, as this line goes on like this, displacement also goes on along this line like this. So here in this case, see what decides which one is greater, speed is greater or velocity is greater? Which one decides? Numerator decides. So for speed, what is there in numerator? Distance is there. For velocity, what is there in numerator? Displacement is there. So here if distance, and what about denominator? Total time. In both cases total time is same only, no? So denominator has no role in deciding which fraction is greater. So who decides here? Numerator decides. For speed, what is numerator? Distance. For velocity, displacement. See here. Here distance is greater than displacement. Magnitude of distance is greater than magnitude of displacement. So ultimately what happens here? Ultimately what happens? So same sign continues. Average speed must be greater than average velocity. Got it? Magnitude of average velocity, right? So here in this case distance is greater than magnitude of displacement. So average speed is greater than magnitude of average velocity. Here displacement is equal to, distance is equal to magnitude of displacement. So here denominators are same, total times numerators are equal, then the fraction values are equal. What are the fraction values here? One is speed, other one is velocity. Average speed and average velocity. Okay, so here what is the symbol? Greater. So here we put greater. So clear no? Right. So now in our chapter we are going to solve problems where particles move in a straight line without turning back. So our problems correspond to this one. So in this case, what about distance and magnitude of displacement? Both of them are same. What about speed and magnitude of velocity? Both of them are same. Average speed is greater in all cases. Greater than what? Modulus of average velocity. And there is only one case where average speed is equal to modulus of average velocity. What is that case? Particles moving in a straight line without turning back in one direction, in a straight line. In that case only average speed is equal to average velocity. This is one point to be kept in mind. Okay, right. See, actually displacement is a vector quantity, we have to put arrow mark here, and velocity is also a vector quantity, we have to put arrow mark here. Okay, distance is a scalar, small s is a scalar, and speed, small v, is also scalar quantities. They are having only magnitudes but no directions. But here in this chapter I am not going to use these arrows here. Okay, why? Because we are not touching the chapter vectors. So displacement is either rightwards. See here, suppose if the particle moves along positive x direction, in this direction, what about displacement? It is positive. If it moves in this direction, what about displacement? It is negative. Like that, only two directions. Ours is, we are considering motion in a straight line. Either the body can move along positive x direction or moves in along negative x direction. If it moves along positive x direction, displacement is positive. If it moves along negative x direction, displacement is negative. Same thing holds good for velocity also. Okay. Average speed, average velocity. What is the symbol here? V bar or V average. Okay. What is the symbol here? V bar, capital V bar or capital V average. It is a scalar. It is vector. Okay. Scalar means has only magnitude but no direction, and this one, it has both magnitude as well as direction. SI unit. SI means what? System International. Should not put a dot between them. SI, okay? System International. What are the units here? Meter per second. For this one, SI units, meter per seconds only. Now let us jump into sample problems. So here also I am taking care that I will cover problems only on motion along a straight line. Later I will explain you, I will give you some problems regarding distance or displacement, average speed and average velocity corresponding to motion in a plane. Okay, without using the knowledge of vectors, those problems we can solve. I will give them separately. But now, for now, our main attention is on motion along a straight line. Okay, once again I am reminding you, here we don't require knowledge of vectors only if you consider motion along a straight line, because here there are only two directions. In this direction positive, this direction is negative, that's all. Okay guys, see here, a particle moves in a straight line from A to B for the first 30 kilometers with a speed 10 kilometers per hour, and the next 60 kilometers with a speed 20 kilometers per hour. Find the average speed and average velocity. He is asking to find speed, average speed and average velocity. In one case, both of them are equal. What is that case? If the body moves in a straight line without turning back, in that case, distance equal to displacement, average speed equal to average velocity. So in our case, see here, a particle moves in a straight line from A to B. Is it turning back? No. From A to B, its motion is, its journey is from A to B in a straight line. So what does it mean? It's very clear that, average speed equal to average velocity. Here, average speed is equal to average velocity. So let us draw the diagram first. For such problems, always try to draw the diagram. Let us suppose this is point A, this is point B. For first 30 kilometers and the next 60 kilometers. So what does it mean? The distance, the journey is partitioned into two parts. Let us take one more point here, C. So A to C is one part, C to B is another part. So what is this one? This is 30 kilometers. S1 equal to 30 kilometers, 60 kilometers. So here average speed and velocity, both of them are same, no? Therefore let us consider speed. So if we find average speed means we can find that means no need to find average velocity again. For this part of journey, what is speed? 10 kilometers per hour. For this part, what is speed? 20 kilometers per hour. So by definition, what is average speed? V average equal to how much? Total distance, S total by total time, T total. S total by T total. This is the basic definition. We are using it as mathematical formula. So average speed equal to total distance by total time. Okay. So what is total distance here? S1 plus S2. By what is total time? For this part of journey, time is the T1. For remaining part of journey, time is T2. So let us write this is T1, this is T2. So this is equal to how much? Let us substitute the values. What is S1? 30 plus what is S2? 60 by what is T1? See, from A to C, what is with what speed the particle moved here? With a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. So for A to C, what is the average speed? 10 only. If a particle moves with a constant value, its average value is same. So if from A to C, average speed is also 10 only. In a class of 30 students, when they conducted test, every student got 80 marks out of 100 marks. Then what is the average? All got equal marks, no? So average is 80 only. So here throughout the journey, the speed is constant. Their entire class, all the students, their marks are constant. Everybody got 80 marks only. Constant marks. Okay, here constant speed. So there what is average value? No need to calculate total marks by total number of students. No need to calculate. Again you will get 80 only, no? So there it is 80. Similarly here, throughout the journey speed is constant. So what is average speed for this part of journey? V1 equal to 10 kilometers per hour only. So why I am writing this one? V average, because V average is equal to S total by T total. So can I write this one? V equal to S by T. Can I remove this one? So V equal to S by T. Speed equal to distance by time. So what do you want here? You want time, no? So time equal to what? Distance by speed. If speed is constant, then no need to bother whether it is average speed or not. Okay, we can take speed. See here, what is speed from A to C? 10 only. What is average speed? 10 only. So simply we can tell speed. So speed equal to distance by time, right? So what is T here? Since T is unknown quantity, let us convert T in terms of known quantities. So what is T1? S1 by V1. Always while solving problems, see that unknown quantities are eliminated gradually and known quantities are retained in the equation. See here, S1 and S2 are known quantities, no? Let us keep them. Do you know T1 and T2? We don't know. Let us change them in terms of known quantities. So from that one, T equal to S by V. So T1 equal to S1 by V1 plus T2 equal to S2 by V2. So this is equal to what is S1 by S1 plus S2? 30 plus 60. 30 plus 60 by what is S1 by V1? 30 by 10 plus S2 by V2? 60 by 20. So this is equal to 90 by 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 equal to how much? 6. Again 6, 3 goes 2 times, 3 goes 30 times. This is equal to 15 kilometers per hour. Easy. So from A to C, what is speed? Constant speed 10 kilometers per hour. From A to C, what is average speed? 10 only. From C to B, with what speed the particle has moved? Constant speed or not? Constant speed only. Then what is average value for this part of journey? 20 only. But throughout this journey, what is average speed? So we have to use this standard mathematical definition and solving in this way, we got that one. So throughout the journey, the average speed is given as 15 kilometers per hour. Then what is average velocity? Because it is a straight line motion, average speed equal to average velocity, therefore its magnitude is also 15 kilometers per hour only. Okay, right. A particle moves in a straight line from A to B for the first 1/3 time with the speed v1 and the next 2/3 time with the speed v2. Find average speed. Find average speed. See here. Okay, so what we have to do? Draw the diagram first. Diagram is must. So this is A, this is B. Always check in what terms the journey is partitioned. Partitioned in terms of distances or partitioned in terms of time intervals. We have to check like that. See, first 1/3 time and the next 2/3 time means what? So this entire journey is partitioned in terms of time intervals. Let us take this one, see. So first one is 1/3 time, no? So let us take total time as t. Total time, let us consider t here. So this is t by 3, 1/3. And what about this one? This is 2 by 3t. Okay. First 1/3 time with speed v1. So here speed is v1. Here speed is v2. Okay. For second part of journey, speed is v2. Simple. So here always you should take care that in previous problem numbers are given, values are given to us, numericals are given to us. But in this problem symbols are given to us. Students generally confuse regarding these problems. When symbols are given to us, which symbols have to be retained while solving the problem and which symbols have to be eliminated. So keep one point in mind. Always what are important here, you know, given quantities are important. What are given quantities? Here what are given quantities? V1 and V2 are given. V1 and V2. These are given quantities. Why given quantities are important? Because our answer should be in terms of given quantities only. Okay, so it is very clear that the answer of this problem will be in terms of only v1 and v2. We will not get any other symbol other than this. Okay, next, what else is important? To find what we have to find, that is also important. What we have to find here? Average speed v bar. Okay, so while making equations, see, understanding the problem, making mathematical equations, then solving. This is the style of solving physics problems. Understanding the concept, applying the relevant application technique to the problem, okay, then making mathematical equations, then solving it. So that is the stepwise solving style of doing problems in physics. So here we have to find this one now. Now what do you know? Average speed v bar equal to what? Total distance S total by T total. What is S total? Let us suppose that this is S1 and this distance is S2. What is that? From A to C distance is S1, from C to B distance is S2. From A to C speed is V1 and from C to B speed is V2. Here time is t by 3, here time is t by 3. See here one more, here t is assumed symbol. We have assumed t. It is not given. Only v1 and v2 are given quantities. So we have written here given quantities v1, v2. T is assumed. Okay. And displacements S1 and S2, distances S1 and S2, they are also assumed. We have given those symbols. So these t and S1, S2 must not be there in equations. While solving gradually, we remove them. So v bar equal to S total by T total. So what is S total here? S1 plus S2 by what is T total? T1 plus T2. So what is S1 here? Do you know S1? We don't know. Let us write in terms of known values. Distance equal to what? Speed into time. How do you know? Because speed equal to distance by time. Okay. So what is this one? When particle moves with a constant speed v, then v equal to constant speed, v equal to distance by time. Got it? So in this case, so what is S1? S equal to v equal to s by t, no? Therefore s equal to vt. So what is S1? This is speed into this time. So v1 into t by 3. Okay. Plus what is S2? This speed into this time. v2 into 2 by 3 t by what is t1? T by 3 plus what is the t2? 2 by 3t. So this is equal to how much? Let us take t by 3 common there. Numerator t by 3, let us take common. v1 plus t by 3, no, 2v2 by, here also t by 3 if you take common, 1 plus 2. So this is equal to how much? T by 3 cancels. So this is equal to v1 plus 2v2 by 3. This is the answer. So guys, in this way we can solve problems. In next video we are going to start acceleration, that is average acceleration. Why we are calling always average acceleration, average speed, average velocity? Any other type of value is also there? Yes, one more type is also there. After completion of this one, I will introduce that one also. That is instantaneous values, instantaneous speed, instantaneous velocity, instantaneous acceleration. These are average values, those are instantaneous values. I will give you clear understanding between average and instantaneous values in later video.